You checked your phone one more time tonight, right before you set it down. You told yourself you were finished looking, but your thumb moved on its own over to that name just to see if the little light had come on. It had not. So you breathed out slow, the way you always do now, and you laid the phone face down in the dark beside you. I saw you do it. I have watched you do this for a long time. The last small thing before you close your eyes. The checking. The hoping. The quiet sinking when the screen stays silent. And I have heard the prayer that comes after it, the one worn so smooth from your lips that there are hardly any words left in it. Just a name now. You whisper a name into the dark, and you hope that somewhere I am there to catch it. My beloved child, I caught it. I have caught every single one. Do not close this tonight. Do not scroll away. Stay here with me a little while. You were led here tonight, and I want you to know why. There is a child you carry, a child you cannot fix, cannot reach, cannot save. And your arms have grown so tired from holding what was never yours alone to hold. Be still now. Let me speak to you about that child, and about your tired, faithful hands. Let me tell you what I see when I look at you. I see a mother's heart, or a father's, or the heart of one who rocked a grandchild to sleep long ago and never stopped praying over that small head. And I see that the child is grown now. The child is far, maybe far in miles, maybe far in a way that miles could never measure. A door closed, a phone that does not ring, a life going somewhere you cannot follow. You know the exact shape of this ache because you have carried it so long, it has become the furniture of your days. You have learned to smile over it at the table. You have learned to answer, "Oh, they are doing fine," when someone asks, because the truth is too heavy to set down in a doorway conversation. And then you go home, and the house is quiet, and the ache is still there, waiting for you the way it always is. Some of you are watching a child you love reach again and again for the very thing that is destroying them. You have seen what it does to their eyes. You have counted the promises made and broken, and you have run out of new ways to say the same old thing one more time. Some of you are sitting beside a hospital bed, holding a diagnosis you cannot even pronounce, praying over a body that a doctor's hands could not mend. And some of you are watching a grown child walk away from me, and it breaks something in you that no one else can see, because you taught them my name when they were small, and now they will not speak it. And you have prayed. Oh, how you have prayed. You have prayed the same prayer so many times that it has worn a groove in you. You have prayed it in the kitchen with your hands in the dishwater. You have prayed it in the car in the parking lot before you were ready to walk in. You have prayed it at 3 a.m. when the whole world was asleep and it was only you and the ceiling and the fear. And here is the thing you have never told anyone. Somewhere in all these years, the praying got tired. Not because your love got smaller. Your love has only grown heavier, but because you have asked for so long with no answer that a small, cold thought crept in. Maybe he does not hear this one. Maybe this is the prayer that does not get answered. Maybe I will pray my whole life and close my eyes at the end, still not knowing. Hear me now, gently. That tiredness is not a sin. That doubt is not a failure. You have been carrying something far too heavy for one pair of arms for far too long, and no one ever told you that you were allowed to be this tired. You love this child so much that you would trade places with them if I let you. You would take the sickness into your own body. You would walk the dark road yourself if it meant they never had to. I know this about you. I am the one who formed that fierce love in you, and it is beautiful to me even now, even worn thin. But I have not brought you here tonight to leave you sitting in this ache. I did not speak your name into the dark only to name your wound and walk away. I named it because I am about to do something with it. So stay with me. Here is the first thing I need you to know, and I need you to let it sink all the way down. I have never once taken my eyes off you. Not in all these years of quiet checking and worn prayers. Not on the nights you thought no one was listening. When you prayed in the dishwater, I was there. When you sat in the parking lot, I was in the car with you. When you woke at 3 in the morning with your heart pounding over that child, I was already awake, and I was already there. But hear this, because it is the part you have been afraid to believe. I have never taken my eyes off that child either. You cannot see where they are tonight. You do not know what room they are in, what they are thinking, whether they are safe. That not knowing is its own kind of torment, and you have lived in it a long time. But there is no room dark enough to hide your child from me. There is no road far enough to carry them out of my sight. Wherever they are tonight, I am there. I am closer to them than you could ever be, even in your fiercest love. I am nearer to them than the very breath in their body. You have been praying as though you had to shout across a great distance to reach me and to reach them, as though I were far and busy, and this one child had somehow slipped through. My beloved child, that is not who I am, and that is not where I have been. Listen to what I promised long ago, and I do not break my promises. As Isaiah chapter 49 verse 25 says, I will contend with those who contend with you, and your children I will save. Read those words again slowly. Your children I will save. That is not a promise you made up in your own longing. That is my own voice, written down long before you were born, waiting on the page for the night you would need it most. I am not distant from this fight. I am contending. There are things pulling at your child that you cannot fight with your own hands. You have tried, and it has left you exhausted, because some battles were never meant to be won at the kitchen table by one tired parent alone. Those are my battles. I take up the fight where your arms fail. I go into the rooms you cannot enter. I walk down the roads you are not allowed to follow. Where your reach ends, mine begins. Now I am not going to lie to you the way the world lies to you, with easy promises and a bow on top. I am not telling you that tomorrow the phone will ring and everything will be mended by breakfast. I love you too much to hand you a promise I did not make. What I am telling you is deeper than that, and it will hold you longer. I am telling you that this child is not outside my reach, that your prayers did not fall to the floor, that the God who has watched over you all these years has never for one moment stopped watching over the one you love. Your eyes may be tired and closing. Mine never close. So loosen your grip just a little tonight. Not because you have given up, because you are finally letting the one who never sleeps hold the watch that was breaking your back. And let me take you now to a woman who once stood exactly where you are standing. A mother with a child she could not heal, and nowhere left to turn but me. There was a woman once, in a region called Tyre and Sidon, outside the borders where my son was known. She was not one of the daughters of Israel. She had no claim, no right, no place in the line. By every rule of that day she was an outsider, and she knew it. But she had a daughter, and that daughter was tormented, suffering in a way the mother could not stop, could not soothe, could not heal no matter what she tried. You know that particular helplessness. You have lived inside it. The child suffers, and the mother would give her own life to trade places, and she cannot. So when this woman heard that Jesus was passing near, she did not care about the rules. She did not care that she had no standing. She came out crying after him, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is suffering terribly." And at first, hear this, because you have felt it, it seemed as though heaven was silent. He did not answer her a word. The disciples wanted to send her away. She was loud. She was desperate. She would not stop, and still she pressed in closer and knelt down and said, "Lord, help me." Then came words that would have sent most people home in shame. He said it was not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. To anyone else, that was a closed door. But this mother, this fierce, worn, desperate mother did not let go. She said, "Yes, Lord." Yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. Do you hear what she did? She did not argue. She did not demand. She took the lowest place, and from that lowest place, she still would not stop believing that even a crumb from his table was enough to heal her child. She had nothing left but faith, and she brought all of it. And this is what my son said to her, as Matthew chapter 15, verse 28 says, "Then Jesus said to her, 'Woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted.'" And her daughter was healed at that moment. Healed at that moment. Not because she was worthy, not because she said the right words in the right order, but because a mother who could not heal her own child refused to stop bringing that child to the only one who could. Now look at yourself tonight in the light of that woman. You have felt like the outsider, like everyone else's prayers are heard and yours somehow are not. You have felt the silence, the long stretch where heaven says not a word. You have wondered if you are only asking for crumbs, and still, worn as you are, you have not stopped coming. Year after year, you keep bringing that child to me. That is not weakness. That is the same great faith I saw in her. Her hands could not reach her daughter's torment, but her faith could reach me. And what her hands could not do, her faith placed into hands that could. That is what your worn, repeated, 3 a.m. prayer has been doing all along. It has been reaching where your hands cannot go. Every time you whispered that name into the dark, you were that mother again, kneeling, saying, "Lord, help me," refusing to be sent away. I saw her faith, and I answered it, and I see yours. So do not stop kneeling. Do not stop bringing this child to my table. You are closer to that woman's story than you know. Now let me tell you what has been happening in all those years you thought were empty. You have counted them as wasted, all those prayers with no visible answer. You have wondered if you were only talking to the ceiling, if the words dissolved before they reached me, if a whole life of praying could end with nothing to show for it. I have watched you carry that fear like a stone in your pocket. So let me tell you the truth about your prayers. Not one of them fell to the floor. Not one dissolved in the dark. Every prayer you have ever prayed over that child, I have kept. The ones with words, and the ones that were only tears. The angry ones, the tired ones, the ones you were ashamed of. I gathered every one, and I have been at work in places your eyes were never allowed to see. You have been judging the whole harvest by looking at the top of the ground, but the seed does its long work underneath, in the dark, where no one is watching. You planted years of prayer into that child's life, and just because you have not seen the green push up through the soil does not mean the roots are not spreading. I do not waste what is planted in faith. I never have. Hear what I said to mothers who wept over lost children long ago. As Jeremiah chapter 31 verses 16 and 17 say, "Restrain your voice from weeping, and your eyes from tears, for your work will be rewarded, declares the Lord. So there is hope for your descendants, declares the Lord. Your children will return to their own land. Your work will be rewarded." Did you hear me call it work? All that praying you thought was helpless, I call it work, and I said it will be rewarded. There is hope for your descendants. That is my word over the child you cannot fix. Now I must tell you something tender, and I need you to receive it and not let it wound your pride. You love this child with everything in you, but you are not the one who loves them most. I am. I loved that child before you ever held them. I knew their name before you chose it. I have loved them through every year you were awake, worrying, and I will go on loving them in the places and hours when you are asleep, when you are gone, when you are no longer able to pray at all. My love for your child did not begin with your love, and it will not end where yours runs out. That is why you can finally breathe. You have been carrying this as though everything depended on you, as though if you stopped praying for one single night, the whole thing would fall. It will not fall. You are not the one holding your child up. I am. You were only ever asked to bring them to me, again and again, like that mother with her crumbs. You were never asked to be their savior. That was always my work, and it was never yours. And the fire your child is walking through, and the fire you are walking through as you love them, I am not wasting that either. I do not send the fire to destroy you. Gold does not come out pure without it. There are things being burned away in you in this long waiting. The need to control, the fear that runs your nights, the belief that all of it rests on your two tired shoulders. And I am shaping you into someone who can rest in me even before the answer comes. So here is what I am asking of you tonight. Not more striving, not a better prayer. Just this. Lay the child down. Keep bringing them, yes, but stop carrying them. Bring them, and then leave them in hands that never tire. Rest is not you giving up on your child. Rest is you trusting the one who loves them more than you do. So lay them down now, right where you are, in the dark, with the phone face down beside you. Open your tired hands, the ones that have held on so long the fingers have almost forgotten how to loosen, and let me lift the child up and out of them. You do not have to solve it tonight. You do not have to find the right words, or fix the broken thing, or carry the fear one more mile up the hill. For tonight, your only work is to rest, to let the one who never sleeps keep the watch, while you finally close your eyes. I am doing a new thing. You cannot see it yet, the same way you cannot see the dawn from the middle of the night. But the middle of the night is not the end of the story. It is only the hour just before I begin. A new season is coming for you. Not a season where you have finally prayed hard enough to earn the answer, but a season where you learn to rest in my love while I do what only I can do. The heaviness you carried into this room is not the thing you will carry out of it. You have lived so long in the long night that you almost forgot the morning still comes. It does. Mine always does. Hear me bless you now, the way a father blesses a child he loves. May you sleep tonight without the stone in your pocket. May the name you have whispered so many times into the dark rest now in my hands instead of on your chest. And may the first thought that finds you in the morning not be the old fear, but the quiet knowing that you were never carrying this alone. May you wake tomorrow lighter, not because the whole thing is solved, but because you finally know it was never yours to solve alone. May you trust that I am awake in every room you cannot enter, and may you love this child a little more freely now that you know I love them even more than you do. I have your child. I have had them all along, and I have you. You did not wander here tonight for no reason. You came because a father wanted to speak to a tired heart and tell it to set the burden down and rest. If these words have found the soft place in you, do not answer me out loud. Just breathe it. Whisper it, the smallest word of trust, back into the same dark where you have whispered so many others. Whisper, Amen. I heard that one too. I hear every single one. Come back to me tomorrow night, and the night after that. I will have a new word waiting for you every evening, because a father does not run out of things to say to a child he loves. Rest now, my beloved child. Your child is held. You are held. And the morning I am bringing is nearer than the long night behind you ever let you believe. Sleep now. I am keeping watch. I am your father, and I am not going anywhere. Until then, rest and be at peace.